Aloha and welcome to the Spring 2024 edition of UHMTV, a TV magazine show written, hosted, and produced by College of Social Sciences students at the University of Hawaii at Mānoa. I'm Shelby Matos.
And I'm Mackenzie Olivo. Mahalo for joining us from our College of Social Sciences digital studios. Coming up in this episode, why students are still fighting to change the name of this old building on campus.
Check out a popular pastime for college students seeking adventures on new pathways.
And how some UH students are finding ways to de-stress and express themselves through dancing.
Plus, a special talk story session with Kanoa Leahy, the voice of UH Sports. Stay with us for all this and more on UHMTV. UH students are challenging the Board of Regents to bring proper recognition to the first African American woman who earned a master's degree at UH Mānoa.
After a long controversial debate, many are still calling for Dean Hall to be renamed in honor of Alice Ball's legacy. Our Lily Hurd reports.
Students, faculty, and supporters marched in honor of Alice Augusta Ball, a UH alumna who pioneered the first effective treatment for leprosy. Her treatment went on to benefit thousands of Hansen disease patients on Molokai.
The Ball method was not only used here in Hawaii for the treatment, but worldwide. So her impact starts here in Hawaii, but it spans out across the globe.
For at least 2 decades, advocates have been calling for Alice Ball's legacy to be recognized with her name on a building. Arthur Dean, the College of Hawaii president during the early 1900s, had advanced Ball's research and got a hall named after him. However, Alice Ball, a Black revolutionary woman of her time, did not receive the same tribute. Last year, the Hawaii Senate proposed a resolution to the UH Board of Regents asking to rename Dean Hall after Alice Ball. However, the measure never passed.
It is clear that he appropriated the name for his, and he did not acknowledge her part of the work. Faculty Senate, when they investigated this here, they didn't go all the way to say that the work was stolen. I'm just saying that's a matter of some controversy. So that kind of puts the movement to rename in a challenging place. And that's, for me, why I want to do all of these other things to help celebrate her, because I don't think the only way to celebrate Alice Ball is to rename Dean Hall.
Like, why are we trying so hard to protect this? And then why are you going to sit here and lie about what you're doing, or like say that you're doing all of these things? You're not. It's the students who are doing these things. And so to sit here and say like, oh, well, we like want to recognize her some other way. How long does it take to like give someone their recognition? Why are you holding back?
You know, certainly that work was not acknowledged or would not have been lost. Alice Ball was an amazing woman who was largely lost to history, and bringing her back is so inspiring because of all that she accomplished. And it's very interesting to me that when the first Alice Ball Day was declared, that somebody thought it was a good idea to make it February 29th, which of course occurs only every 4 years. So I reached out to Governor Ige and asked him if he would be willing to shift it to February 28th, which he did several years ago. We celebrated an Alice Ball Day here, and I hope that we have created enough momentum that every year UH will be celebrating Alice Ball Day.
Alice Ball has been recognized in several ways, including having a day dedicated to her and receiving the Medal of Distinction seen at Hamilton Library. She also has a scholarship named after her to help chemistry students further their higher education.
Her story has really empowered me because I've done my undergrad in biochemistry, and my intention was really to be a healer, just as she was, and after I graduated, I kind of changed routes into focusing more on agriculture and using food as medicine.
Alice Ball really represents for me the importance of using our education to be in service to others. And also, as a Black woman and a doctoral student, she represents what's possible for my career in higher education as well.
President Lassner has also announced plans to build a new statue in honor of Alice Ball. For UHMTV, this is Lily Hurd.
As modern technology continues to evolve, many professors are questioning whether artificial intelligence is beneficial to higher learning.
UH researchers and faculty have started the conversation here on campus and have come to a conclusion that may perhaps surprise you.
The conversation around artificial intelligence is fairly new for most students and teachers. Some are trying to help others use the technology for good.
I think one of the most promising ways that I see AI that could be used in the future for students is as a personalized, individualized tutor.
Most people use artificial intelligence as a form of plagiarism to help them, but that can be problematic.
If you care about the output being factual, then you have to take some care about using it.
Young has been working with students and faculty to teach the better way of using AI. Most people's first instinct using AI is to type something like, "Find me research about the brain and smoking." However, that doesn't always give you the result you want. It's a term researchers call hallucination.
So it's not exactly incorrect, but it's making things up, without even knowing what correct or incorrect is. It just says words.
AI is helpful for students by allowing a 24-hour cycle of assistance. However, for engineering and math researchers, there isn't quite enough data for it to be useful.
It's like if I start using AI in my research, AI is not smart enough. So for AI to be useful in my type of research, it's not smart enough yet because it doesn't truly generate that type of knowledge.
Like the calculator, AI is another invention that can transform education. And because it is so new, it's too early to state how it transformed college classrooms. For UHMTV, I'm Shelby Matos.
UH students looking to decompress on weekends are finding fun ways to forge their own path.
And they're taking it off-road. Jack Vetter has the story.
Hawaii, known for its stunning beauty and vibrant culture, is also home to a passionate off-roading community. Here, off-roading isn't just a hobby. It's a way for enthusiasts to escape the urban hustle and explore untouched corners of the island.
I like off-roading because it gets me out in nature, I can explore, and I can see stuff people usually don't see.
But what drives this community isn't just the desire for adventure, it's also the love for their vehicles. In fact, Hawaii ranks among leading states for truck sales, with Toyota Tacoma making up 60% of the pickup market. These vehicles are often customized with larger tires and lift kits enhancing their off-road capabilities.
I just like using my vehicle for what it's built for, really.
But beyond the thrill of conquering challenging trails, off-roading fosters a strong sense of community. It's a shared journey where individuals come together to share passion for exploration and the great outdoors.
There's a large community of off-roaders here, and it's easy to make friends and a lot of good memories.
So whether it's to escape the city, explore more parts of the island, or enjoy time with friends outdoors, off-roading is the perfect hobby for an adventurist. For UHMTV, I'm Jack Vetter.
Mopeds, which rely heavily on fuel, are a popular mode of transportation for many UH students.
However, state lawmakers are now proposing a possible ban on these gas-powered motors in favor of electric mopeds. Gemma White explains.
I hate mopeds. Everyone I know has gotten into accidents. They're so dangerous and they're especially so loud. Every night I hear them when I'm trying to fall asleep and they keep me up all night.
A measure to ban gas mopeds has been moving through the legislature this session. Some lawmakers believe that these mopeds are a significant contributor to noise pollution in Hawaii. Let's go take a look and see how this possible ban could affect students and local businesses.
Our shop is moped related, so if they ban mopeds, we won't have any business to do. And we've got 4 workers here that'd be out of a job. If they ban mopeds for noise complaints, then every Harley, every car, every other motorcycle on the road should also be banned because they're much louder than mopeds.
This is my moped right here. I use it every day to come to school and go to work. It's my only way of transportation and I saved up for a really long time to buy it. I love it so much because I can always find parking, and if I had a car that I can't afford, I would never be able to find parking because it's really difficult here in Hawaii.
The banning of mopeds would likely cause more traffic and congestion on our streets, as well as further limiting parking spaces, especially at the university. An alternative to gas-powered mopeds is electric mopeds. While these are more environmentally friendly and produce less noise, they do come with some drawbacks.
They're not as good as normal mopeds. They don't do the same thing. They don't last as long. Much more expensive up front, and the parts are a lot more expensive to fix.
The measure has since been deferred and lawmakers may take it up in the next session. Visit capital.hawaii.gov for more information. For UHMTV, I'm Gemma White.
Sailing may not be the first thing that comes to mind when you think of an underdog team at UH Manoa. As one of the few Division I sailing programs on the West Coast, the UH sailing team has brought up a number of world champions, record setters, and Olympians. I've been able to appreciate and experience the greatness of this team for the last 3 years as a proud member of the program. Although we are one of the top performing athletics programs at UH Manoa, we are often misinterpreted or overlooked. Everett McAvoy is one of the top sailors on the team and takes pride in representing UH.
I think the sailing team sometimes gets misinterpreted as kind of a bougie sport or not as mainstream as some of the other sports. And because it's not as mainstream, I think a lot of people don't know or pay attention to it or don't think that it should quite get the same respect just because they don't know as much about it.
UH is one of the top schools in the nation for sailing, and more often than not, at least top 3 in our conference.
Our big competition that we're always fighting with is Stanford, because they come with a lot of funding, and they can also attract a lot of these really top athletes to strengthen their program, which then attracts more strong athletes, which just builds it up.
Many agree that the team isn't fairly marketed or promoted for such a high-performing program. Although we have these challenges, we always accomplish our goals.
It is definitely hard to compete with a school like Stanford when their budget is triple or quadruple ours.
No matter who we race with, where we compete, or what backing we have, we always put up a good fight. As said by our coach Andy Johnson in every single pep talk I've heard, have fun, represent well, and the results will come.
When we return, we'll talk story with sports broadcaster Kanoa Leahy.
And we'll explore how he's carrying on a family legacy through UH athletics. All this and more on UHMTV.
Welcome back to UHMTV. Every semester, we like to honor our esteemed alumni and learn how the university has shaped their careers.
Our very own Aaron Fujitani sat down with sportscaster Kanoa Leahy to talk about his journey to become the voice of Hawaii athletics.
Aloha everyone, this is Kanoa Leahy.
What's up everybody? What's up everybody? Hey, what's up everybody? All right, it's a special edition of Leahy's Locker Room. What's up, Leahy's Locker Room? What's up everybody? Hey, what's up everybody? What's up everybody? Leahy's Locker Room.
How you doing everybody? Let's talk sports.
What's up? Hey, what's up? Kanoa Leahy and Leahy's Locker Room.
How you doing everybody? Let's talk sports along with the coach Larry Price. Look who is next to me. That's right, CMAC is CBEC. Is my alma mater. That's right, Hawaii and Hawaii Pacific. All right, we'll see you at first pitch. Let's send it back down to the field.
Kanoa Leahy is a familiar voice and face in Hawaii sports. He comes from a family of sportscasters, grandfather Chuck Leahy and father Jim Leahy. Recently, UH President David Lasner dedicated the Les Murakami Baseball Stadium press box in honor of Jim's legacy. Yet, Kanoa has paved his own path to success. While working in local broadcasting and taking courses at UH Mānoa, Kanoa worked his way to become a household name.
You are the grandson and son of Jim and Chuck, legendary UH sportscasters. Tell me a little bit about following in their footsteps.
Well, it wasn't necessarily always in the plan. I think I had an exposure, obviously, accompanying my dad to games, and my grandfather passed away when I was relatively young, so didn't get to know him all that well, but certainly learned at a young age the legacy that he left behind. But I got an opportunity to announce radio broadcasts of girls ILH basketball when I was still a senior in high school at Iolani, and that's sort of where it started. And I sort of jumped at the opportunity. Asked my dad what he thought about it, and he said, well, you're gonna have to pay your dues, just like we all did. And he didn't necessarily help me get any kind of gigs, but it was an opportunity to do something, and it was something that I really enjoyed and had a little bit more of a knowledge about just off the bat, unknowingly, just because I had kind of accompanied my dad and sat in on all of the games that he was calling throughout the years. So it happened a little bit more by happenstance, but yeah, it's a legacy that I am proud to attempt to live up to. Those guys are legends, and they set a standard that I'll never be able to achieve. But it is a point of pride for me for sure.
Do you feel any pressure following?
I think maybe there was to a degree. I think any young broadcaster, the challenge is to sort of find your voice and your style. And so probably when I was younger, I was doing a really bad Jim Leahy impression every time I did a radio or television broadcast. But as time went on, I sort of learned a little bit more of what my voice and what my style encompassed. And but yeah, I would say early on there were probably a lot of eyeballs, on me, and I think probably a lot of presumptions of, oh, this guy's only doing what he's doing because his last name is Leahy. But I do feel, looking back on it, like I can say that I definitely paid my dues and had to earn it the way all announcers do.
So we brought you in studio today because you are a UH alum. Tell me a little bit about your time here as a student.
Yeah, I spent 2 years here before transferring to Hawaii Pacific University, and it took me many more years before ultimately getting my degree, because I was fortunate enough to get a full-time job in the business before I had officially gotten my undergraduate degree. That relationship with the University of Hawaii over all of those generations was something that has meant a great deal to me in my time attending this school, and certainly now with the privilege that I have of being a television play-by-play announcer of UH Sports. Like that love, that desire to see UH athletes succeed, programs succeed and achieve, it is genuine. It comes absolutely from the deepest depths of my heart and my soul.
Do you have any advice for future journalists, future broadcasters, someone that wants to get into the sports career?
Yeah, I would say pay your dues. No job is too small, especially early on when you're trying to establish yourself. That's the educational process is about doing whatever you can with as much passion and as much focus and preparation as you can. I would say be humble, maintain humility. Everybody wants to be on TV and be a star and be famous and be a celebrity and all that kind of stuff. I would say for future broadcasters or play-by-play announcers, know your role. Like, people are watching because they want to watch these teams and these players, and they want to see achievement on the field. Our job is to just enhance that a little bit. It's not about us. It's not about the people who are on the air. It's about the athletes. It's about the coaches. It's about that competition and trying to express the excitement and the emotion of the atmosphere every time you're on the air.
Well, thank you so much for joining me in the studio.
Thank you, Erin.
And thank you for watching UHMTV. Aloha.
Our UH alum can be found everywhere in the workforce, even starting businesses of their own.
CJ Pakela shows us how one alum has opened a local dance studio, sharing his love for hip-hop.
House dance is a form of hip-hop that was born in the underground clubs in New York during the 1970s and 80s. Unfortunately, the spread of house dance is not as popular today, especially throughout the Hawaiian Islands. The House Ohana is a local studio doing what they can to change that. Located 5 minutes from the University of Hawaii campus, they focus on bringing students of all ages together to expand the house community. The House Ohana offers weekly classes at their studio as well as occasional classes at UH.
I took hip hop because I grew up dancing, listening to music, so might as well take it as an elective, and it seemed fun. I like learning new moves and learning choreography, and we had special choreographers come in and help us out during class, so it was pretty fun. So he was teaching us house dance, so a little different than hip hop, but incorporated a lot of things that we use in our hip hop class, so it was fun to learn, and we actually went to go cypher and watch a jam too, so it's cool.
House dance is a type of choreography that uses a steady tempo from about 120 to 130 beats per minute and also usually includes elements of freestyle.
Not only is house dance a fun and different type of choreography, but it also incorporates self-expression through the use of ciphers and improvisation.
I really enjoy it because it's really upbeat and lets me express my feelings well. I really like how the small movements can turn into really big movements, and it's just really fun. If you're interested in taking a house class or want more information, visit the House Ohana on Instagram. For UHMTV, I'm CJ Pakela.
Now, let's hit the skate park with another Manoa graduate who's also started his own brand.
This UH alum has opened his own skate shop in Honolulu and has been inspiring the local community, one skateboard at a time. Ethan Young reports.
In the heart of Waikiki, amidst the shimmering waves and swaying palm trees, lies a hub of community spirit, where 2 graduates have turned their passion into purpose.
Well, growing up, watching the older kids skate down the street and thinking, that's the coolest thing in the world, right?
I've been on a skateboard basically since I could walk. I mean, before I can even remember, right?
I'm just begging my parents, like, please, can we go get a skateboard? We gotta go get a skateboard.
That's all my friends and I did growing up. That was our hobby, you know. I mean, we did our other sports and things, but at the core, we were all skaters.
Yeah, they take me down to the local shop, and I'm like, all right, this is gonna be my personality forever.
Not only have they turned their hobby into a job they love, but they're looking for ways to use their passion to give back to the community.
Here at Big Skate, we like to try to give back as much as possible. We'll pull up to Eva with a couple of skateboards, or pull up any, you know, Ala, Makiki, and if someone's skating hard and showing passion and dedication, you know, that kid's gonna earn a skateboard or skate wheels, bearings.
We all live in Waikiki or close, and there's no real core skate shop in Waikiki, right? Like, you know, you have those mall shops that everybody knows, but those are basically like closed stores with some skateboards in them. So like, we wanted to bring like a core skateboarding shop to Waikiki. And then our state bird, the B-52.
Before Big Skate was Big Skate, Boucher was giving back to his community long before he started their business.
So growing up in Newport, Rhode Island, I always found it mind-blowing that we never had a skate park in Newport. My senior year of high school, my senior project was to fix our falling apart skate park. I was hoping maybe we just throw some Bondo down, maybe get a new rail. Essentially, we had foundations donate large sums of money, up to 20, 40,000, got guided down this route of, okay, we can really get a large amount of funding to build a whole skate park. That's sort of where the love comes from. I took that and I brought it to a place where it means so much to the community as well. And Hawaii is one of those places where surfing and skateboarding is in the culture.
Since their opening in October 2023, Big Skate Waikiki has amassed a following of over 30,000 on Instagram, who tune in for their funny videos, skating content, and special events.
We blew up on Instagram, and not just Hawaii now it's international, right? And so we actually have a customer here the other day, they were from California. We follow you on social media, we love your videos, they're so funny. I told my dad we had to stop at Big Skate, and you know, that was the goal, and we're doing that, and it's just such an epic thing to see.
Find them on Instagram at Big Skate Waikiki to see where their next community event will take place, or skate on down to pick up your own deck.
You can be free, you can be yourself, you can be anything you want to be on a skateboard, and that is what's so beautiful about it.
Every first Friday of the month, the streets of Chinatown are buzzing with excitement.
From art galleries to concerts and much more, First Fridays are the place to be. On the first Friday of the month, South Hotel Street in the Chinatown district of Honolulu is illuminated with busy people trying to catch a break.
I'm a student and also a full-time worker, so I think it's easy to get disconnected from the people here, and downtown is the perfect place to come. So yeah, I was definitely seeking community here.
It's more about the connections you make with people, you know, forgetting about responsibilities in life for a night and just chilling with friends that I once called coworkers but can now call friends, and it's kind of, I know.
At the forefront of First Friday is community. With smiling faces, displays of companionship, and love for local music and art, both locals and visitors gather to find people with similar interests.
Getting everybody together, you know, it's all about community, it's all about family, ohana, aloha, you know, we all gotta band together and just enjoy life.
First Friday was once an entire block party. Closed roads and designated spaces permitted these community seekers. However, post-COVID-19, these once busy streets began to fade.
So First Friday in Chinatown has a very rich history. However, when COVID happened, things had to slow down a little bit. But we're slowly getting First Friday back, and what's really inspiring to me is that people still come out and they make it a thing. Although the block parties aren't happening at the moment, people still make it an event, and that's on the customers and the community. and that's why I'm proud to be a part of that community.
So it's such a freeing experience to just be like, I'm just gonna go out tonight and I'll see what I see, I'll meet people I meet. It's just very much a thing here. Like, you know, it's like, it's First Friday in Hawaii. There's something out there for everyone.
For UHMTV, I'm Mackenzie Olivo.
Thank you for joining us for this 36th edition of UHMTV. On behalf of our reporting staff, mahalo for watching and supporting the College of Social Sciences Digital Studios. I'm Shelby Matos.
And I'm Mackenzie Olivo. For more information, please visit our YouTube channel. And until next time,
aloha!